So let me talk about two people who I believe are on kind of opposites of the plant-based spectrum. And these are two gentlemen that I've had on my show. I like them both very, very much, all right? James Aspey, who is really on the vegan activist side of the spectrum. James is 100% plant-based, has been for a long time, but he is what I would call a vegan activist. He's very militant about the fact we shouldn't hurt animals. He does protests and fasts in front of factory farms, which I totally respect. I mean, trying to fast, which is already a difficult thing to do, and trying to do it when you're camping out and trucks of animals are coming in to be slaughtered. And he does that work, and I totally respect James for what he does. He gets out there and talks to people in crowds and has hour-long discussions about why they're plant-based. He's doing out there in the trenches, doing hard work, and I respect James for that, okay? But that's one side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum is Dr. Michael Greger, who I've also had on the show, and an amazing guy who's very science-based and just says, Brian, I'm a doctor and a scientist, and from all of my research, I've found that if you're 100% plant-based, you have a less of a chance of getting heart disease, diabetes, lung cancer, liver cancer, brain cancer, all of these things. And he's got a book called How Not to Die. Great book, right? And he's got the How Not to Die cookbook. And he just says, Brian, if you look at the numbers, you're going to live longer eating plants 100%, period. And I totally respect, but he doesn't use the V word because he says vegans tell you what not to eat, I tell you what to eat. And he doesn't necessarily have views about leather and about how we treat these animals. He just says, look, from a science point of view, this is the smartest thing to do. So I respect both of these gentlemen, and I see these people kind of on a spectrum of, we got these kind of hardcore vegans that are really after animal rights and are really angry at humans for treating animals in a subpar way. And I totally get that argument. And I agree with a lot of what he says. I don't believe in factory farm pork or fish or chicken or meat. And I'd like not to support that as much as I can. Also, you got Greger over here who says, look, let's just be real. Plants are the answer and are the future. And so I think it's important to have these discussions and have these ideas and talk about where you are. The truth is I still think that a mostly plant-based diet is the smartest thing for me and the smartest thing I'm going to be doing for a very long time. I also think it's a great thing for most people to do. They can actually get healthier. A lot of times they'll lose weight. A lot of times they'll just get a lot better eating habits than doing a lot of the things that they do. But I also know that there's some downsides. People that say they're 100% plant-based still are involved in the killing of animals. There's also a really good article in the New York Times recently that says this planet just literally can't go 100% plant-based. We just can't because we have all of these facilities where we're growing animals for nutrition. Also from a nutrition standpoint, they just said we can't just switch and do it. And a lot of people will come out and say, that's not true, Brian, we can do this, we can do that. But planting plants is also not just a simple thing. A lot of animals die in the course of that. So nobody really has no blood on their hands. And this is a discussion I would like to continue, and I want to talk about this. But the truth is the world is going more plant-based as a diet, and I think that's a wonderful thing. I think we should encourage that, and I think you should experiment with that. But I also think that it doesn't mean we all have to choose one team and stay on that team. And so that's what's really important to talk about right now, is that I don't think there's two teams here. I don't think there's Republicans and Democrats. I don't think there's pro-Trump and anti-Trump. And I don't think there's vegans and non-vegans or plant-based and meat eaters. I think this is a spectrum of ideas, and I think we need to respect everyone's ideas and say it's okay, great. Thank you for having this discussion. I choose to do this. This is why, and I'm going to live my life that way. But I don't think there needs to be a team, and I think it's ridiculous. And again, with my friend Tim Sheaf, I see a lot of negative comments he gets from people in the plant-based community, and it's like, why? Tim is still on your team. Tim was a great advocate for you for a long time. Tim is a great person. He's always exploring for the truth. You don't have to throw him off your team. We just have to say, okay, Tim's making some new choices. Okay, I don't agree with him, but cool, we're going to keep going. So let's be involved in this discussion, and let's not ostracize each other, because that doesn't get us anywhere when it's my team against your team, or you're wrong and I'm right. Let's keep having the discussion. Let's move the science forward. Let's give people a bunch of options that they can have. Try going plant-based if you're not, and try exploring why you're plant-based if you are. And let's just continue the discussion. And that's what I want to do.
London Real doesn't stop when the conversation ends. You see, that's when we get started. Because everything begins with a thought, and then comes the action. The London Real Academy is our global transformation platform. Here we bring together thousands of students from over 75 countries. Whether you want to build a profitable business from your passion, or learn to speak to inspire, or broadcast yourself with your very own podcast, or accelerate your life to become a high-performance person, we have the online accountability course and personal mentoring program that will make your dream a reality. Join us, and we'll take your life to the next level, together. Our next accelerator course is starting soon.